following the giant story involving Jeff Bezos and the National Enquirer attempting to extort and blackmail him with nude and semi-nude images that they allegedly have of Bezos and his girlfriend, a number of journalists actually came forward and said, hey, you know what? We were actually targeted by AMI as well, and we also received threats. So Ronan Farrow happened to be one of those journalists, and he shared his story on Twitter, writing, I and at least one other prominent journalist involved in breaking stories about the National Enquirer's arrangement with Trump fielded similar stop digging or will ruin you blackmail efforts from AMI. I did not engage as I don't cut deals with subjects of ongoing reporting.
So interesting point. Dylan Howard, who's the main editor at National Enquirer, is the one who sent the threats to Bezos, it appears. And he's also the one that was covering up for Harvey Weinstein and going after reporters who were reporting on that story. So the National Enquirer has been protecting bad guys for a long, long time. And it's been the same cast of characters. And so great to see other reporters like Ronan Farrow behind the scenes did not give into that pressure.
And who also broke the Harvey Weinstein story. So I mean, he's basically right in the thick of it.
He is, and
good on him.
So I think I just want to quickly discuss the importance of good journalism and how difficult it is to be a good, effective, principled journalist. Because if you're doing the type of muckraking journalism that inspired me to get involved in media, then you are going to be a target, right? And so look at how Donald Trump deals with real journalists. Like anyone who reports anything he doesn't like, he will go after them and he'll do so viciously, calling them enemy of the people. Now, it's one thing to call them names and to, in my opinion, incite violence toward them. It's another thing to extort and blackmail, and this has been going on behind the scenes and we haven't been aware of it, at least the extent of how it's been going down. And so I want to give these journalists credit for not caving into that type of intimidation. Who knows, there might be journalists out there who did, because if you are an independent journalist, let's say, and you don't have the power of a major news organization behind you, then it's incredibly scary to have powerful, wealthy people come after you with these types of threats, especially if they're willing to go through illegal means to obtain embarrassing information about you.
No, that's so true. I mean, way longer story, but I mean, when I was reporting on all of the stuff that was going on at the beginning of the financial crisis, I was writing for the Daily Beast and other places, and I got effectively some very nasty correspondence from John Thain, who was the former #3 guy, president at Goldman, and at the time the CEO of Merrill Lynch, which got a big, sort of bailout and was paying bonuses and so forth from it. And so, but I had also a good editor. So it's important to stick to the facts in journalism and commend all journalists who do that. It's hard, and also for the editors who back them. And so it's that collaborative effort, and there are those.
So that leads to two other things about Donald Trump that are interesting. One is that he attacks everyone that does accurate reporting about him and calls them fake news. And who are his main allies in the media? National Enquirer, that does fake news.
Tabloid, it's just a giant tabloid.
And then my thesis on Trump has always been that he's too stupid to effectively cover up his crimes. And here he is, like he's used to getting away with everything, having no consequences to his actions, having his daddy bail him out, et cetera, et cetera. But he's too stupid to realize that Jeff Bezos has $180 billion and he's not a regular guy that you can push around. You push around a lot of people in your life, mainly because they didn't have enough money to fight back. That dude's got $180 billion. You think he would, and how do you think he got that money too? He didn't get it from his daddy like you did, right? No, of course he's gonna fight back and has an excellent chance of finding out what you're up to. That is, and he owns the Washington Post. How stupid are you?
Ted Brightus, who is also a reporter with the Associated Press, shared his story saying, "We were warned explicitly that insiders at AMI had hired private investigators to dig into backgrounds of AP journalists looking into the tabloid's efforts on behalf of Trump. Never saw evidence of this either way, and it didn't stop our reporting." There was also a reporter from Daily Beast who came forward and said he experienced similar threats. Let's go to that. In the process of reporting those stories, the Beast and a member of its staff were threatened by AMI's attorneys. So this is, I guess, a common tactic that's being utilized by some of these bad guys at the National Enquirer and AMI, and I'm glad that it's being revealed now.
Right.
But by the way, this connects to another story today about Jerome Corsi suing Roger Stone for threatening him, and they're both right wingers. And we made fun of Corsi for being outraged, but when that's their MO. So what Roger Stone, Donald Trump, National Enquirer, they've been threatening people for decades. So, but in this case, they threatened the wrong dude. And so look, I got a lot of issues with how Amazon treats its employees, etc. But if Bezos takes out Trump for legitimate reasons, well, score one for Bezos, and that would be a great favor that he's done to the world. Okay, and who enabled it? Trump, with his own idiocy. Thanks for watching this free clip of the Young Turks. Don't forget to become a TYT member today. For more exclusive content, join now at tyt.com/join.